Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 20th. It's March. It's 2019. And I made this video on March 14th. I made about 15 videos in a row as I was watching Alex Jones on the Joe Rogan show. It's kind of raw. It's not completely censored, but it is what it is. You guys said you wanted to see it, so here it is. Enjoy. Or don't. I'm out. Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 12th. This is going to be kind of uncensored, so if you have delicate sensibilities, you were warned. But I don't know how I'm going to be able to say this without losing my mind. I've been driving for 2 days. I left Moab yesterday, and I'm in Texas today, and I'm still driving. It's 5 o'clock Central Time. I've listened to Age of Deceit 3 once in its entirety. I've listened to Alex Jones and Joe Rogan and Eddie Bravo twice, but it's so long and the lack of signal made it difficult. But wow. Eddie Bravo is either completely in on it like Jones and Rogan, or he's being used as a useful idiot. Because Alex kept propping him up as the ambassador of the flat earth. And whenever Eddie gets a chance to talk, he brings up nothing. Nothing. Well, there's no video of the ISS being built. Yeah, that's one tiny molecule in the grand scheme of things. Gus Grisham got killed after hanging a lemon on the launch pad because he was being too vocal, saying, "This is a tin can. This is a piece of crap." He didn't realize. See, all the guys that work at NASA, all the astronauts, all the training, all the nonsense, all the bullshit is real. It's got to be. If you want to steal $52 million a day from taxpayers in the United States, you got to give them something. So, the Challenger explosion, that doesn't point directly to flat Earth, but it shows you what NASA is. We had a Nazi running all 6 of the moon missions. This Nazi's best friend was Walt Disney. Walt Disney introduced us all to spaceships and other things before NASA. The space station, the Space Shuttle Challenger, exploded, killing all its passengers. And yet, you can find all but one of them to this day still alive. And the funny thing about all these people is they all looked very distinct. All of them were very distinct. And all those distinctions still show up later in life when you find these people working at a college or a university or something to that effect with the same names. They don't even hide it because they think Americans are all so stupid. The people that aren't completely stupid are the ones that are trying to shut up. Alex Jones was a threat to the system, so they scrubbed him from the internet. And yet, he's back completely, 100% completely backing up the mainstream with 10 million plus views with Joe Rogan. Really? Really? YouTube pulled the guy that's been on YouTube longer than Joe Rogan, but now that he's back on Joe Rogan, all is well. It's a scam. It's a trick. Rogan's in on it. Rogan has spent his entire last 8 years that I know of explaining the qualities of meeting other dimensional beings by using DMT, ayahuasca, sensory deprivation tanks. He sold his soul. That's all there is to it. He met all these beings, he was seduced by them, and he lost it. There it is. But now, he's given a platform bigger than anybody else to help back up the mainstream. Every time Alex asks him something, "Oh, I don't know that answer." Get the fuck out of here, man. You don't know that answer. That's an old industry trick that's supposed to make the listener go, "Oh, come on, Joe, you know that answer, I do." It's called engaging. It's exactly what he's doing. It's exactly what it is. Eddie Bravo suddenly being the flat earth ambassador is stupid because he's down with these guys. Alex Jones is a CIA operative. I've never met somebody or ever heard somebody that tells everybody he knows is, I know astronauts. Oh, I know the guys from NASA. Oh, the CIA told me this, the CIA told me that, the CIA told me they wanted me to join because I had dreams when I was little and they came true. That's what we call bullshit. Absolute bullshit. These guys are drinking and snorting cocaine, doing a live stream. It couldn't be any more obvious, and people still believe it. This is the last call for YouTube. Alex Jones being taken down and scrubbed from the internet. I know what that's like. I've been there before. You see what I'm saying? But then magically, all of a sudden, he's on Rogan, 10 million plus views, plus all the other videos that come around behind it, telling people that he knows God. He dreamt about God when he was 2 or 3, because we all remember our dreams when we were 2 or 3, right? He dreamt about God, and God doesn't know who he is. That's why all this chaos on the earth. And then he wraps it up by saying, well, the earth is entirely chaos. Everything is chaos. And the people that are doing these staged events like Sandy Hook, the Batman shooting, the Challenger explosion, the moon landing hoax, every single war we've ever been in, they're trying to bring some sense of order. He's showing his cards. He's showing you exactly who he is and who he's always worked for. You know what I'm saying? It's unbelievably obvious. There's going to be a part 2. The main purpose, the thing that they keep driving home over and over and over in this alcohol and drug-induced podcast are everything that Alex ever said. I never said that. And how convenient that the internet's been scrubbed of all his videos, correct? Alex Jones absolutely, without a doubt, said Sandy Hook was what it was. There's no way that was a real event because one of the children died twice. Once in this country and once in Pakistan. How does that happen? How does that happen? The other thing that he can't stop talking about is how I'm not the same Alex Jones as 10 years ago. I'm a little schizophrenic now, and all my subscribers are too, because they've been lied to so much and so often that they don't think anything's real. So he keeps saying that same phrase. They've been lied to so much and so often that they don't know what's real. Except, of course, the same people that are lying to you so much and so often. Well, they weren't lying about Sandy Hook, and they weren't lying about the Parkland shooting, and they weren't lying about Batman, and they weren't lying about the Challenger, and they weren't lying about the Titanic, they weren't lying about the Gulf of Tonkin, they weren't lying about Pearl Harbor, they weren't lying about the babies being thrown on the cold floors and ripped away from the incubators. They weren't lying about that. But everything else is a lie, so that's why you're a schizophrenic now. You're a schizophrenic. That's what the main theme throughout. Alex is now doing, for 20 years, he was allowed to tell you all sorts of crazy bullshit and sell you all sorts of crazy bullshit, making himself a multi-millionaire. Then he comes out in court under oath and says, I'm just an actor. This is all for entertainment. And then his channel gets pulled. And then he's back again. And now that he's back, everything that he ever said that you can't prove anymore because it's all been scrubbed, I didn't say any of that. And anyone who thinks that is schizophrenic. And they're schizophrenic because they were lied to. So it's unbelievable. This is agent in place. This is the PSYOP. Do you see what I'm saying? All of it. Joe's in on it. Alex is in on it. And whether he knows it or not, Eddie Bravo's in on it. Or he's being used as a useful idiot. But I don't think he is. I could be wrong on that one. But it's hard to tell. If you're on a platform like that that's going to get millions and millions of views, when you're finally handed the mic to explain why you think the earth is flat, saying there's no video of a machine being built, that ain't one of them. That ain't one of them. Whatsoever at all. Alex is just continually puking. It's amazing. Alex is like a savant. It's amazing. All the information. Well, you know what? Give me a fucking... Give me an 8-ball of Coke and some vodka, and you'd be amazed at all the shit that I can regurgitate that I've been talking about for the last 10 years. It isn't magic, man. It's not that hard to do. Seriously. And Joe's, I don't know anything. I'm just Joe Rogan. I don't want to say anything. We're advertiser free. You're not advertiser free, dude. Every time Joe mentions a product by name, he's getting paid for it, and that's a fact. You think Elon Musk comes on there for free? Hell no. How often does he mention the Tesla technology, the Tesla vehicles? Joe Rogan, me and Anthony Patch brought up the neural lace being developed by Elon Musk's people. We brought that up in 2016, and then it was news. And yet Joe Rogan was talking about it in 2014. Seriously. Before Musk goes on and smokes a joint with Joe Rogan, he tweets that the stock's closed out at 420 or something like that. And then the next day he smokes weed, 420, 420 chemicals in THC. You get it? You get it? Unbelievable. There will be a part 3. Rogan selling out. That may not have been at the end of a gun. He might not have been forced. Joe Rogan completely denied the moon landing and then flipped the switch. But you know why? Because DMT, ayahuasca, and sensory deprivation chambers, all of those things are you knocking on the door to evil, other dimensional beings. And once you meet with them, once you can see them, and he's described it ad nauseum how many times he's seen these beings made of geometry and lights and geometric figures and so forth and so on. Once you're in their realm, they take you over. Joe Rogan and Alex Jones are now actively working against free, God-fearing American people. Alex quotes the Bible, sure, but he also says, God effing damn it, numerous times while going to the bathroom to pee. These guys say fuck left and right, but when they have to go to the bathroom, oh, Alex, I gotta pee. Oh, me too, let's go pee together. What are we, 5? Seriously, come back and you drop. I'm Alex Jones, and there's human pig chimeras hiding all over America. America is aliens. I know NASA. And then on the other side of his constantly moving mouth, now for those that don't understand that, there's plenty of you that do. Snorting cocaine excessively causes your jaw to go back and forth. I've done it. Alex did it. That's what they're doing. At the very end of the Joe Rogan podcast, Alex says, I've already said this, but I'm saying it again, because I can't believe how flagrant it is. I've been making videos about Alex Jones for several years, on and off. I don't watch the guy. I don't want my mind polluted with his nonsensical bullshit. At the end of that podcast, when they're going to go get their real drink and snort on, Alex says, the universe is made of chaos. And, you know, the Gulf of Tonkin and all these other staged events, the universe is chaos, and there's people here trying to bring order to that chaos by doing these staged events. He's straight up saying it. Straight up saying it. And I mean, it's obvious. Nobody needs to be told. None of my subscribers need to be told. You guys already know all this is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But there he is. There it is. And the bad thing about this entire scenario is there's a bunch of half-listening, half-baked, half-awake at best people falling for it. For those millions of views, channels like mine with almost 500,000 subscribers, we're not allowed to get views. 50,000 max. Max. That's it. Alex is explaining to Joe Rogan and Eddie Bravo atmospheric lensing that his friends at NASA taught him about. Well, let me tell you something. That's absolute bullshit. Repeating lies that are given to you by the people that are lying, that just means you're a dope. You're an absolute dope. I've got video of the moon coming out of the ocean and out of the mountains, both times, cold and clear. Both times, the moon is drastically larger. Atmospheric lensing doesn't cause the dark spots on the moon to swim around as though they were organizing. They are. And we're going to prove that. And it's in the Book of Enoch. The moon comes out of several portals on its travels around this earth, this plane. Unbelievable. Just rambling like a babbling lunatic. And Joe's like, well, you can see through the veil. You're one of those special people. He's special, all right. He calls himself a retard, and I have to agree with it. Because a retard, being retarded means you're being stopped. Your ability to think clearly is being stopped. Your ability to express. I retard the ignition on my truck. It's not a derogatory phrase. It's an adjective. At any rate, put a cherry on it. Alex actually says what I've already said about him. I was planning an exit strategy from YouTube because I'm already 45 and I can't take much more. Well, guess what, son? I'm 51. This ain't a fight that you quit and give up. It doesn't work like that. Once you're awake, it's on. Unless, of course, you're in it for the money. Because like you told Eddie Bravo numerous times, I'll finance a Flat Earth documentary. Of course, he's looking for all sorts of activities like that now. Eddie says, well, let's start raising money. I don't need to raise money. I've got it now. What's it, like $1 million? I'll cover that. Yeah, he didn't get pulled from YouTube. He left. Like many other YouTubers that suddenly came up with an alternative for YouTube. Or they come up with a website as an alternative to YouTube. Where, of course, you have to pay. And then suddenly their channel's in jeopardy. You see how that works? The real RichieFromBoston.com is free. Free. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass to sign in initially, but it's free. So there's that. And Joe just keeps going on at the very, very end. It's like there's a universal thing going on where some people want to be silenced and they're going to keep censoring us and taking away our ability to communicate with each other and express or expose things that are going on, because that will finally do what they've wanted. It will cause people to snap and act, and it'll give them the reasoning to put the boot down on the neck even more so. They're going to keep shutting people down and shutting people up, giving people no place to vent, no place to find other like-minded people. So finally, maybe they won't have to stage all the events they've been staging for years, since I was born. You see what I'm saying? And Joe's pondering it like, maybe it's the will of the universe. Oh, Joe, you are a sellout, dude. An absolute sellout. And Alex, you're not a sellout because you're doing exactly what you were placed from day one to do. And it's so glaringly obvious to some of us that actually can see. You'll still get your 10, 20, 50,000 thumbs up and millions of views, and people will keep buying chemicals from you for their brain. I wonder how that works out. It's unbelievable. And I'm watching the final blow come down on free speech while Joe Rogan ponders, oh, it seems like the universe. I can't see anything. Look at this. Unbelievable, right? Maybe if I was a DMT, vodka drinking, coke snorting scumbag, I'd have a private plane. But I drive a 20-year-old truck. What are you going to do? So, this is directly to Alex Jones, okay? You seem to have an identity crisis because according to you, people on the street think you killed the children at Sandy Hook, which I've never ever heard that. Never ever at all. And then, according to you, you're not perfect. You say that about, I don't know, 30 times. And then according to you, You say people think you're Donald Trump. That's your identity. No, that was the final linchpin that made all of us that were already trying to expose you, made us all realize that we were never wrong. You're a scumbag, Alex Jones. That's what you are. That's the word you want people to... Everyone thinks you're a scumbag. You're a sellout. YouTube pulled my channel. Okay, so YouTube pulled your channel, but you've got all these special forces and black operators and NASA engineers and astronauts and CIA guys as family and friends. But YouTube pulled your channel? And then oddly enough, oddly, strangely, coincidentally, fortuitously enough, you were getting ready to pull the plug anyway. And then it happened. Well, that's convenient, no? Scumbag, piece of shit, enemy of America is what you should identify as. I've never thought of you as Donald Trump or Adam Lanza. Just a scumbag. And that's what you are. Sure, my channel will get pulled for this, but that's okay. And I can't help but notice how Joe just keeps sitting there with his hands folded saying, the problem is people need to communicate more. The left and the right are constantly screaming it. None of that makes any difference, Joe. None of it. None of it. And there's no difference to be made what average everyday people think or how they know how the other person feels or communicating. None of that matters because we have a criminal elite, corporatized government. Our government is run by corporations solely. Corporations are run by satanic assholes. These people write the laws so that the laws can't affect them, which is why Hillary never went to jail, because it's all just a movie. None of it is real. And if you don't understand that by this point, unplug your mic, drop it, and walk away, because you're doing more harm than good. And people that would actually take you seriously think you're an asshole. But I digress. And just to add insult to injury, Joe Rogan is trying to perpetuate, well, there were fantastical diesel fires in the basement of World Trade Center 7. So maybe they could have pancaked. Even though on several channels, but specifically BBC, the buildings coming down were reported 20 minutes prior. And Jones says the news reported they were going to bring the buildings down for the safety of other buildings. Bring down World Trade Center 7. Well, there's no way in the world in that day, in all that chaos, they were going to rig up explosives. It's all bullshit. And then Alex goes on to say that the Twin Towers were built like shit. Alex Jones says those two buildings were the mafia had something to do with it, and they were going to fall over anyways. But he doesn't mention the elevator upgrades that were done by Ace Elevator that is now out of business. He doesn't mention the $1 billion asbestos removal project. He doesn't mention Larry Silverstein buying it for a nickel and making a bazillion. He doesn't mention all that. He also doesn't mention the fact that those buildings were so strong. They had an interior structure and an exterior structure which limited how wide the windows could be. So this is the ultimate slap in the face by Rogan and Jones, perpetrating 9/11 was just bad luck. What can anybody do? It's bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Why am I so mad? Because scumbags on YouTube have called me every name in the book, and yet all I've ever done is what I've always done. And these two scumbags get all the views in the world. It blows me away. Blows me away. If you're following Alex Jones, if you still believe in him, unsubscribe right now, please, because there's no hope for you. This was obvious. Alex Jones on Joe Rogan is like the World Trade Center 7 building. It's free fall. And then, of course, Eddie Bravo chimes in and brings up Dr. Judy Wood. Here's the deal. those buildings fell exactly as though there was explosions inside. Explosions can turn, especially black military-grade thermite, which evidence for that was found everywhere. Military-grade thermite, Black Ops military-grade thermite, has one additional element that regular thermite doesn't have. It has carbon. Evidence for that was found everywhere. And of course, Eddie Bravo has to bring up directed energy weapons, because that's his job. He's a conspiracy theorist, but he does more harm than good. That's his job. The useful idiot is what it is. And then Eddie Bravo does his job saying, a lot of people think Alex Jones is a Zionist shill, but I know you, and you want the best for people. While Alex is sitting there with his jaw going a mile a minute, asking Joe for more tobacco. Here's the deal. If two grown men continue to say, I gotta go pee, and they both go at the same time, they're doing cocaine. Just for those that don't understand that. That's a fact, period. Saying that Alex Jones isn't a Zionist shill is laughable. He never once points the finger where it should go. Israel's fingers are all over this entire thing. Israel's fingers are all over the Federal Reserve, Hollywood. What does Alex say? The Muslims and the Chi-coms. They did it. They're on it. That's who it is. Believe me. I'm fat. Fat people know stuff. And then to put the cherry on top of everything, Joe has smartly slowed down his speech. So you can't tell that he's a little racy right now. But he just totally pushed universal basic income, which means no one has a job anymore. Everybody gets paid by the government. When everyone works for the government, guess who's the boss? And this is exactly what Joe Rogan's job is to do. It's to push all those people that don't know what they are. They know something's wrong, but they don't know what it is. That's Joe's job. He fills in the gap. So, for all you guys that like to research, Alex Jones finished up this cocaine, alcohol-induced trader fest or carnival of lies with the granddaddy. He claims at 13 years old, which would be what? 32 years ago? He was pile-drived by a senior when he was 13, so hard that his head cracked open and he bled and the concrete broke. And Alex was fine. He got up and punched the guy in the throat. He almost died and had to get a tracheotomy. Look that up, because I guarantee you, it's like everything else. It's an entire, complete, and total lie. The police came and took him to jail, but then they had to let him go? No, they didn't. That's not true. That's not real. That's not how it works. Unless, of course, your family's in the CIA. But the concrete cracked, according to Alex Jones. Uncle Alex's fantastical stories. It doesn't end.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers, scum. They're on giant death factories, keeping babies alive. You're selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green-looking skin, and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we wanna eat babies. I have them on video.
I love Satan, so f*** you.
I kill my kids.
Hillary's in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man.
We came, we saw, he died.
She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur.
There's a guy on the radio who apparently Trump's on his show frequently. He said me and Hillary are demons. Said we smell like sulfur. Ain't that something?
I had never seen or smelled any woman like that, ever.
People are telling me she smells.
Who could not notice someone who smelled that bad?
In a room, vampire pot, dead goblins are hobbling round, coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap, we don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.